Emergency works are being carried out on the Demerara Harbor Bridge, and President Granger says hinterland education being repositioned to eliminate inequalities. Welcome to InfoHub. It's Monday, September 2, the beginning of Indigenous Heritage Month and Education Month. Let's tell you what's making the news. Police investigations are ongoing following the early morning incident at the Demerara Harbor Bridge. Minister of Public Infrastructure, the Honorable David Patterson, provided an update.
As work continues on the Demerara Harbor Bridge, Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson said operating hours for the river taxis have been extended to 10 p.m.
After 10 p.m. this evening, unless you have an alternative method of crossing the river, you wouldn't be able to. So I like persons to you to communicate to the public. We will, with Marby running, communicate to the public that the close-off time is 10 p.m. for the river taxis. Obviously, MARD will also, under our instruction, will have four emergency vessels in place for the periods between 10 p.m. when we reopen it at 6 a.m.
According to Minister Patterson, the crew of Cuban nationals who were manning the barge this morning are currently assisting the police with its investigation. It has been revealed that the non-English speaking crew was also outside of their designated anchorage point. All of these are being addressed by the police.
Because obviously the captain or crew could not speak English, the only words that they understood was Mayday, but they activated and the White Lighthouse contacted the harbor master, who immediately contacted the owner of a tug. This is just to come to the assistance. But unfortunately, all of that was a bit late because it already would have come into contact with the bridge.
The impact from the barge, which was being led by a tug, shifted spans 12, 13, and 16. Operators are currently working to realign the retractor span. With the bridge being out of operation, commuters were this morning forced to utilize the services of the water taxis, plying the Vredenhoop to Stabroek route. General Manager of the Demerara Harbor Bridge, Ralston Adams, said that the corporation is still assessing the cost of the damage, which will have to be borne by the Cuban crew.
You have transom that is damaged, so the amount of work that's going on out there, I don't want to put any number out there as yet because we're still assessing, because I don't want the agent of the vessel who comes afterwards when we get the true figure says, but we heard you said in the media it is $2 and now you're saying it's $10. So we're going to be very cautious in putting numbers out there until we have a total assessment of what the true damage is.
For InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
Following the accident at the Demerara Harbor Bridge, residents had to rely on the speedboat service at the Vredenhoop Stelling. InfoHub took its cameras to the Stabroek Market Stelling, where speedboat operators assured that they were up for the challenge.
The boat them can handle the passengers them, because I know the little situations, the little crowd for the morning. But when the crowd done, the place get back normal, everything going back to normal. Well, if the bridge is working, we can go round the surface. Because people traveling all night.
We got everything under lock and key right now is just the stelling, but it's small. We got a little confusion. But other than that, everything will be safe for the passenger.
Commuters utilizing the speedboat service commented on the systems implemented to ease the congestion.
Well, for the longest while I didn't travel with boat. I usually drive to work every morning. I usually work a bus and conquer, so this morning I leave all vehicle home. Come on the boat, but it's not a bad system so far. I think it should have a lot more security out there to look at the most pedestrian that person here to using this, because it does be chaos in the peak hours. So far it's okay. They have a nice control system over there. I see the charge system is good.
We had no confusion because over the other side, on the Vredenhoop side there, it gets people controlling the thing to go down in the boat.
Well, I find it at ease because the crowd kind of going down very slowly, so we think it's getting a little better.
We expect it to be busier, but it's not too bad.
Around 1 hour this morning, a tug and barge collided with the Demerara Harbor Bridge, which resulted in structural damage to several parts of the bridge. Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson has assured that following emergency works, the bridge will be reopened to light vehicular traffic by tomorrow morning. As Guyana observes Indigenous Heritage Month as well as Education Month, His Excellency President David Granger has declared that hinterland education is being repositioned to eliminate inequalities. The head of state was at the time delivering the feature address at the ceremonial launch for Indigenous Heritage Month at the Sophia Exhibition Center. President Granger highlighted that education in the hinterland began under the church 50 years ago and the task continues today.
Education is the cornerstone of government's plans to ensure greater equality between the hinterland and the coastland, to reduce poverty, and to provide greater economic and employment opportunities for indigenous communities and peoples.
The head of state reminded the coalition inherited the public education system with several issues, and through much effort, some progress has been made. He assured that residents of the hinterland will no longer need to worry about accessing quality education.
Government's creation of 4 capital towns at Bartica, Lethem, Mabaroom, and Madium, which administer 3/4 of our land space, will ensure the establishment of a first-class secondary school in each and every capital town. A student will not have to leave his or her region to get a first-class secondary education. Hinterland residents should not think that they have fallen behind the rest of the country in terms of access to public educational opportunities. Education is the great equalizer. It is the key to reversing hinterland underdevelopment and providing employment.
Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, the Honorable Sidney Alicock, stated that government has provided technical training centers throughout the country.
Today we have available to us all the opportunities for training and education that would help to refine the skills that are rooted in the spirit of Indigenous peoples as it relates to caring for their natural environment. This should never be taken lightly.
Also present at the ceremonial launch was Prime Minister the Honorable Moses Nagamutu, his wife Mrs. Sita Nagamutu, members of the Diplomatic Corps and special invitees. As schools reopened across the country today, Education Minister the Honorable Dr. Nicolette Henry visited several institutions in Regions 4, 5, and 6.
Minister Henry inspected ICT and science laboratories and home economics rooms. She also reiterated that support for teachers, parents, and students is at the forefront of her ministry's work.
I also want to commend the teachers and the administration for the preparation and the work they've done to make your first day at school very comfortable.
The excitement continued as the minister engaged students and teachers and listened to their concerns.
There are a few schools in the region that I will be looking at. I wanted to ensure that they're ready, that the conditions are conducive for learning, and that the teachers are prepared, the classroom is ready, students are back out in the numbers. So from the first day, we can hit the ground running because we have a lot of work to do in the education sector, and we need all hands on deck.
Schools visited today include President's College, Helena Nursery, and Golden Grove Primary in Region 4, Cotton Tree Primary, Number 5 Nursery, and Fort Wellington in Region 5, and New Amsterdam Secondary, Savannah Park Nursery, and St. Aloysius Primary in Region 6.
Still to come, final trade facilitation agreement workshop held. Details of this and more after the break.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways, and lush enriching rainforest, would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Thanks for staying with us. Minister of Social Cohesion, the Honorable Dr. George Norton, is of the view that nothing must hinder the education of our nation. He made these remarks at the official opening of the 2019 orientation session of the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate classes at the Sophia Night School.
The program offers the classes free of cost, which are facilitated by the Sophia Community Development Association. Members of the non-governmental organization made the pitch for vital support to bolster the program, and Minister Norton promised to take the request to the President.
I see no reason why he will not agree to the request made of having probably the Sophia Night School or probably the Sophia Community Development Association being one of that organization that will enjoy a subvention. You deserve it.
The program, which began back in 2016, saw over 200 persons registering and seizing the opportunity to establish a solid educational foundation. Minister Norton told the new batch of students that they are now embarking on their journey to prosperity.
You are our future, and we sincerely would like to provide you with all the tools needed for you to succeed and to take this country to the next level.
Riedler Husband, who recently completed his CSEC examinations, shared how impactful the program was for him.
The students who will be attending the class for the next year or two must understand that it is not up to the teachers to ensure that you pass the final examinations, but that it is up to you to make the required sacrifice and to seize the opportunity. Because I attended this program, I now possess the necessary qualifications to attend the University of Guyana, where
Subjects offered include mathematics, English language, social studies, principles of business, principles of accounts, office administration, integrated science, agricultural science, human and social biology, and electronic document preparation management. I'm Nkosi Bruce for InfoHub.
Key government agencies and stakeholders met for the third and final national workshop on the Trade Facilitation Agreement. The exercise seeks to ensure that the country, through these agencies, are aligned with international arrangements for trade.
The workshop is based on ongoing engagements between the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNTAD, and the Government of Guyana, and is being financed by the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Early on Monday, as he opened the workshop, UNTAD Representative Bismarck Sitoris said through this initiative, Guyana will soon reach its intended marker to modernize its customs administration and promote trade facilitation.
From those courses, you develop your skill and also your competency that also will benefit the committee. These two events are basically the basis of organizing this third event. From the first module, the first event, we have now the draft of Guyana's roadmap.
Guyana's roadmap will include ratification and notification requirements. These are meant to simplify, modernize, and harmonize the export and import processes. According to Mr. Sitoris, the workshop, since its inception, ensured the input of all agencies, as the final document will eventually become the guideline they must all follow.
You will have the opportunity to improve and validate in the first 2 days of the workshop this week. I promise you, this is going to be a very challenging exercise. Don't be discouraged, because the document itself is your document.
Guyana is highly dependent on trade. Both external and internal trade combined contribute significantly to the country's GDP. Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
ExxonMobil has once again come on board as the sponsor for the Amazon Warriors at this year's 7th Hero Caribbean Premier League match.
At the signing of the sponsorship agreement held at Marriott Hotel, ExxonMobil country manager Rod Henson said the game of cricket unifies people.
The Amazon Warriors represent the diversity of Guyana, and the team has very similar values to ExxonMobil. We both try to accomplish our jobs with excellence, to try to be, we want to be the best, but we also want to partner with communities to provide benefits.
Operations manager Omar Khan said the franchise is geared towards the development of young cricketers in Guyana.
We have exemplified our commitment to the young cricketers of Guyana, and through the great help of ExxonMobil, we have been able to help these young cricketers develop into better human beings.
First-timer Nicholas Puran is preparing to take the tournament by storm.
I'm looking forward for the 2019 season with Guyana. Guyana is one of the most successful franchises. We haven't won the tournament yet, but they're successful because they reached 4 finals. I'm excited. I'm just trying to contribute my best in whatever way I can do. Just to make the Guyana franchise successful this year.
The CPL matches bolt off on September 4th in Trinidad and Tobago. Matches in Guyana starts on September 5th. Neola Damon, InfoHub.
Here's a reminder to check our Facebook and Instagram pages as we bring you more stories covering the observances of Indigenous Heritage Month and Education Month. That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy. And pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye for now.